Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. Resistance to tyranny is obedience to God. The Meeker Massacre, the Boston Massacre, the Taoist Revolt of 1847, and the Sand Creek Massacre. Let's compare and contrast these four massacres real quick. Out of all the massacres, the least massacre of all the massacres, Boston Massacre. So that's Crispus Attucks is going to get killed and four others. 5 people get killed. It was March 5th, 1770. 50,000, 14,000. We had, let's see, 50 AD, we broke out of Africa. 14 AD, we got to America. And then Crispus Attucks stood up like a man. Crispus Attucks actually was an ex-slave. He was a black man, but because this black man stood up to the British crown, he showed us our own oppression. The Meeker Massacre. At first, there's going to be 11 killed. Nathan Meeker and 10 of his people are going to get killed. But then you're going to have 24 Americans and up to 37 Utes. I heard 17 to up to 37. So that's going to be 61 total. 11 killed at the Meeker Massacre at first, and then 61 total. 50 more are going to get killed at the battle. So you had the assassination of Nathan Meeker, and then you had the battle. Taos Revolt of 1847. Charles Bent is going to get killed. Charles Bent is going to get killed in the very beginning, so you're going to have like 30 is going to get killed, and then America is going to come in and kill 150, and only 7 Americans are going to die. But Tomasito, little Tomasito is going to kill Charles Bent, the governor, and a whole bunch of other government officials. So 30 are going to be killed at the Taos Revolt. 11 are going to be killed at first at the Meeker Massacre. I just want to focus on the 11 to be honest with you. Sand Creek Massacre, 230 Arapaho and Cheyenne are going to get killed. This November 29th, 1864. So, Meeker Massacre, Taos Revolt, 1847. The Meeker Massacre is going to lead the Utes out of Colorado, or at least their ancestral homelands, and to southwest corner to the reservations, to Utah or to the southwest corner of Colorado. The Sand Creek Massacre is Shivington. He killed 230 Arapaho and Cheyenne Native Americans. November 29th, 1864. So, quick comparison of all the massacres. The Boston Massacre, only 5 was killed in the Boston Massacre. 5 people were killed in the Boston Massacre. So that's some incredible propaganda. The American revolutionaries were able to turn this little firefight. 5 people were killed. Why are you all freaked out about 5 people? Meeker Massacre, 11 was killed in the very beginning, kind of like how 30 was killed in the very beginning of the Taos Revolt. And then 61 is going to get killed, overall. And then 87 is going to get killed overall. And then 230 is going to get killed. So 230, 187, 61. Meanwhile, the Boston Massacre is 5. 5. So let's compare some of these recent shootings and mass murders to the Boston Massacre, and then I'll just kind of give a commentary afterwards. A lot of fucking shootings. So I think the Democrats are gearing up to get their assault weapons banned. The AR-15s and AK-47s are being used in a lot of these. And we're seeing more than 5 killed. Just a couple recently. 7 was killed in the Oklahoma shooting. 5 was killed in Cleveland, Texas. And then 8 was killed at a Dallas mall in Allen, Texas. You got a Louisville shooting. There's like 3, 4, or 5 killed there. Walmart shooting, 3 or 4. The Louisville shooting was the dude had killed some of his co-workers at a bank. Walmart shooting, same thing. Dude killed his co-workers, like 3 or 4 of them. And then there's that trans student in Tennessee. I think there's like 4 or 5 or 6 were killed or some shit. And that's kind of sad that, we're losing, right? But we got to organize this stuff. We got to put this shit in order. We got to organize this stuff. UC Davis, there was a guy who had stabbed 2 men. And he stabbed a woman, Carlos Dominguez. So that's a stabbing, right? That's murder, but that's a stabbing. That has nothing to do with any kind of firearm, anything. Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas. Seems to be shootings all over the place. You got a bunch of Keystone, Uvalde, Reno 911 cops. Where's Johnny Hurley at when you need him? Where is Chris Hansen and Johnny Hurley? Johnny Hurley stopped the active shooter and got killed for it. There is an active shooter. How often do you get to use your carry concealed permit as a private citizen and save the day? In Allen, Texas, you have the Dallas area. 8's going to get killed at a Dallas mall area. Mauricio Garcia. Apparently, a 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia, neo-Nazi white supremacist piece of shit, had an AR-15 and a handgun, and he killed 8 people at a Dallas mall. He had tattoo of RWDS, right-wing death squad, so he's taking pride in being part of a right-wing death squad. He wore tactical gear, said the old prez, and he killed a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old between 5 and 61. So the youngest killed was a 5-year-old. Mauricio Garcia, 33, neo-Nazi. 5 was killed in Cleveland, Texas. Francisco Oropesa, Mexican national, killed 5. Arrested without incident. Killed 5 Hondurans. Mexican national, Hondurans, Cleveland, Texas. So neither one of them were supposed to be in Texas. Right? Both of them technically are illegal. You get the Mexican national just shooting his AR-15 for whatever reason. The Honduras family says, hey, Mexican national, will you stop shooting your gun? The Mexican national tells the Honduran family, no, I'm going to actually keep on shooting and I'm going to go over to your house. And he was just like hunting. He was looking for people to shoot. They're going to arrest him without incident, which is interesting. He's a badass to, the Hondurans, but he's basically going to shoot a family of 5. There's 10 individuals who was in the house at the time, so half the people in the house were going to get shot and killed. He had been drinking, and they've been living next to each other for 3 years. They were basically surprised. They had no idea this, like, hey, you're waking the baby. We thought we could just ask you to keep it down, and he would have, but instead he kind of fucking lost it. So they lived next to each other for 3 years, shooting a gun, asked him to turn it down, and then he goes and he kills 5 of them. 2 of the victims were in their bedroom, and they were shielding the young with their bodies. They were all shot from the neck up, so basically point blank execution style, including 9-year-old Daniel Enrique Lasso. And so you got a 5-year-old. Oh, wow, look at these fucking strong men. Manly men. Mauricio and fucking Daniel Enrique Lasso shot a 9-year-old, shot a 5-year-old. You sure you don't just want to, throw a basketball at them or something? Like, you got an AR-15 them. So you have 7 dead at the Oklahoma shooting. Shot in the head. Now this Jesse McFadden, he is a pervert, right? He's a convicted rapist. And then he's going to serve like 17 years in prison for the rape. And then he's going to get out. And then there's another charge of 16-year-old. He was talking something with a 16-year-old, and then also child porn. So he was on trial for that 16-year-old and for child porn charges. Jesse McFadden, they said when he stayed at the jail that his roommate had to sleep with one eye open. Jesse McFadden is going to kill 5 teenagers and his wife and himself. 1 male and 4 females. So he killed 5 teenagers. His wife and 7 are going to get killed total during a sleepover at his house. And it's like, what the fuck happened? I can kind of, 13-year-old Tiffany Guess is going to be the youngest killed. I could kind of see what the deal. I mean, apparently, I guess if he's not committing a crime, it's his own kids and they had a sleepover. But I feel like somebody said something. There's a male, there's 4 females, and then the wife. They was like, hey, didn't you, they got into an argument about the cheese, who ate the last piece of cheese. And then they said, didn't you get convicted of rape? And it's like, man, I served 17 years in fucking prison for that shit. Yeah, I did get convicted, but 17 years of prison. But then what about that, the child porn shit and now the 16-year-old shit? Like, you would think you would have learned your lesson. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Don't you say one more fucking word Tiffany Guess is Janet Mayo. Janet Mayo's daughter is Tiffany Guess. The mother is Janet Mayo. So 17 killed in Oklahoma. 5 killed in Cleveland, Texas. 8 killed in Allen, Texas. 8 killed at a Dallas mall by that white supremacist, 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia. The Oklahoma shooting is Jesse McFadden, the pervert. Francisco Oropesa was a Mexican national that killed a Honduran family. So 5 killed, 7 killed, 8 killed. Louisville shooting, I want to say there was like 5 or 6 that was killed in that. There was a Walmart shooting. There was a handful there. The trans student in Tennessee. There was... Now compare these to the Boston Massacre. Well, the ones I mentioned are all above 5. But here's one that's below 5. May 4th, 2023. Georgia man kills 3 women, his mother, his grandmother, and a manager at Walmart. And then he's going to shoot himself. So there's 4, right? 4 people are going to be killed. Kentavious White, is that his name? Kentavious White. So Georgia man kills 4, May 4th, 2023. But that's under the Boston Massacre threshold of 5. And so I'm not going to say that it's not important. I'm just going to say that it's not, I'm comparing and contrast over 5. So Cleveland, Texas, Allen, Texas, Oklahoma shooting. Now we have a car is going to run over pedestrians. This is all in Texas. 3 major fucking things. 8 people are going to get killed. The car is going to run over pedestrians. It's a Hispanic male, but he had said some shit while he was running. There was one report about he was saying something about something. It was known to be a migrant shelter, so they're at a bus stop, a bunch of migrants at a bus stop waiting for the bus in Brownville. And this happened just yesterday. And the Hispanic man just drives into him. Was he drunk? Was he not paying attention? Apparently there was people shouting beforehand and there was people shouting afterwards. So it's like he drove around, shouted at them, drove back around, and then just, plowed into them. 18 people are going to be injured. 8 people are going to get killed. And then the guy's not giving up his name. He's not saying who he is or what he's about. So apparently he was gesturing and insulting them. So it seems like it could very much be something intentional. But what the fuck? I mean, I know it's springtime and all, and it's just getting warmer weather, but take it easy, America. God damn it. No wonder the police are doing goddamn motherfucking brutality. You got all these, look at all these crazy ass fucking shootings and shit. And for all the elite motherfucking uppity fucking haughty toddy pish posh uppity, gated community sons of bitches. The half of America that's doing A-OK and fine and dandy and just totally doing supreme. What am I saying? We should have a right to defend ourselves, and criminality is bullshit. So that's just a lot of fucking major mass murders. It just seems like one after another after another. And then when you think about like the trials, Tisha, I don't know, Tisha. I feel like we're just kind of playing your stupid ass game. I mean, we're giving you your fucking trial and shit. Christian Glass just got shot. He was in a car and he called the cops and the cops just shot and killed him. So the system could very much be broken, but the people's broken. The people's broken. The system's broken. Everything's broken. Does that mean we need a revolution? Does that mean we need to start writing up constitutions and Bill of Rights? I got over 100 freedoms. I combine Colorado's freedoms with America's freedoms. I think that would be important for the new constitution. Can I volunteer myself to write the Bill of Rights for the brand new constitution? Are we having a constitutional convention? Also, can we have it like in the middle of the country? Us being on the edge, having DC on the edge. I mean, poor Seattle and Portland and fucking... No wonder, the West Coast has the crimes. Or maybe that's the reason why they're doing so good, because they're so fucking far away from centralized government. But it seems like we should have at least like 5 capitals, right? 1 in Montana, 1 in California, 1 in Texas, 1 in Florida, 1 in Maine. And I don't know, the fucking main one in Iowa or Colorado or Magoti, Antonito, Chama. UC Davis, he just stabbed people, right? So it's almost like, is that even a news story? He kind of, goes up to court and he's just stone cold, real quiet, doesn't say nothing, and then just kind of says, "Are you Carlos Dominguez?" Yeah. Public defender went ahead and, assigned himself to the case. There was one, the black conservative says that we're not, the liberals, the left are not saying anything about the three schoolboys who robbed another schoolboy on a bus. Well, I'm going to say something that's bullshit, so let's not rob people. That's scary times. Teenagers are joining gangs, and gangs are going into school buses and fucking robbing people, beating people up, intimidating people. The bus driver and the help, they're not, they're still at home. They're like, they recovered. They had their mask. I don't know who they were. I have no idea. I don't want to drive a bus for just a couple bucks, a couple fucking hours a day, and, think I might get goddamn killed and gunned down for that shit. That don't seem like a very good high risk reward sort of. That's not a good risk reward ratio. That's not a good. So compared to the Meeker massacre, it's not 11 people killed, right? 8 people killed. We're getting up there. 5 people killed. And then that's political too. Taoist revolt of 1847. 30 was killed. Charles Bent, again, political. Or any of these political. A lot of these things are kind of personal. It's probably civil. If our court systems work, they probably could just sue each other and just hash it out in a civil court. Sand Creek Massacre, 230. We're not even getting close to these numbers. 230, 100, 50, 60, 61. So for the massacres, the Meeker Massacre, 61 killed. Taoist Revolt, over 150, 180 I said. And then Sand Creek, 230. Only the Boston Massacre. These are all like Boston massacres, weak little tiny massacres, hardly even massacres. During the Civil War, they're going to have like conflicts where there's like 1,500 dead bodies just lying on the field after, one day. 2 armies clashed, 1,500 dead people right there on the battlefield. So what the hell is going on? What the hell can be said about this shit? Don't commit crimes. That's hell, that seems to be the only fucking thing I keep saying. It's like, goddamn, change your fucking record, just saying this shit. The system is broken. The system is broken. I was pulled over in Manassas, and I pulled over, and the guy gave me a ticket. And he gave me a ticket for speeding, and he gave me a ticket for insurance. I go to the court, and the judge, he's going to fuck with me. And I had to get a guy. I had to pay Lalo to watch over the place, because I had motherfucking Phil Greeny and motherfucking Pickrell and Jepson and motherfuckers sitting there stalking the shit out of me. And I couldn't go anywhere or do anything, really. So I was just holding my position. I was holding the fort down. And I was protecting the property that I had already had. I wasn't advancing. I wasn't progressing. But I was at least keeping what I had. So I'm in Manassas, and I'm having this shit, fuckers are fucking around, but I feel like if I hurry up and go in and I come back, I got an hour. They really got to have their shit together to be able to get in and out in an hour. So I go to Manassas, or I go to Alamosa, and I, buy myself a car. How did I get up to Alamosa? I'm not for sure. I had a truck, and they followed me back with the truck. I don't know. I bought the car and I was driving the car back home. And then I guess later on I was going to get somebody to pick up the truck. I parked the truck up in Alamosa somewhere. Now I'd like to live in a world where, all for one for all. I got my ideals. I wish we all had health care. Feeling a little parched. Give myself a little drink. I got my ideals, and I like America to be way better than what we are. But some things are kind of non-negotiable. In the Bill of Rights, Colorado, it says if you're not happy or safe, you get to have a revolution. Now, does that just mean one person? If one person isn't safe and happy, does he get to throw a one-man revolution? I mean, there's an argument to be said. I guess yes and no. A revolution is a self-defense principle of a nation, and one man with courage makes a majority. But if you're just, John Brown shouting revolution and then you get gunned down and there is no Abraham Lincoln to follow you up, well, you didn't really do much of anything at all. You're just kind of you're a good righteous, crazy old fart who got fucking gunned down. So what's going on in America? I think a lot of things is wrong with America. I think that the system overall is broken. Can the good fix the bad? I'd like to think so. Maybe not. I don't know. We're overextending ourselves when it comes to the empire. We're in 900 military bases. I don't even know what the hell we're doing in the countries that we're in. 150 countries. We're in all these countries. Public system, and the cops go after the Anne Franks. Anne Frank doesn't get to be free. Anne Frank has been raped for 41 years, and Anne Frank is going to get raped for another 41 years. We're never going to go after the Nazis that committed crimes against Anne Frank, or Goebbels, or the, Himmlers, or the Goebbels, or the fucking weird-ass weasel fucking little douchebag piles of shit. Nazis are so tough, then they should defend Anne Frank. If Nazis are so big and tough and strong, they should defend the J.C. Dugards and the Frederick Douglasses. Frederick Douglass is going to live, and so is J.C. Dugard. When I think of the worst victims throughout history, who's kind of a success story, kind of, Frederick Douglass, J.C. Dugard. Anne Frank lost. Anne Frank lost. And we should talk about why Anne Frank lost. She's going to catch syphilis. Her mother's going to die. Her sister's going to die. They're going to starve right in front of each other. And America's going to get there a couple months later. So we pretend to be righteous, but we didn't get our righteous ass in gear until, 2 years too late. We also didn't take in the voyage of the damned. So the Germans tried to send us, the Jewish folks, in the beginning. And then, I don't know what the hell America's problem was, but they had to go right the fuck back to Europe. Some of them jumped the fuck out. No, fuck this shit. We're here. But that's anti-Semitism. Christian sons of bitches. It's not Anglo-Saxon. There's white supremacy. You could be Anglo. You could be Saxon. You could be Bohemian. You could be African. You can't be a white supremacist. You can't be a white supremacist. You can't be a racist piece of shit. To be a hate-filled fucking anti-Semitic piece of shit, you're just the same as Hitler. America's filled with a bunch of Christians. Hitler was killing a bunch of Jewish folks over there. And so we minded our own business, or maybe we supported it. Maybe we supported the wickedness. I don't fucking know. So America was evil and selfish in 1939 and 1940. That's why I like us defending Ukraine today. Us defending Ukraine today is kind of us fixing this Iraq shit. And fixing, we got a decent record, but World War II is like our greatest war, and we didn't even join for the first 2 years. After World War II, the world is going to be devastated, including Europe. So America's going to own the entire fucking world. World War II is great for our, popularity, for our economics. We're flying American jets all over the world because we own the world. So we need to collaborate and listen. We need to organize ourselves. I'm against criminality. I'm against crimes. And so I should write myself a list, organize a community. Listen, investigate, learn the rules of evidence. Talk to this person and that person. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I'm sick of motherfuckers fucking around with other motherfuckers. I believe in a system. If I punch you and you say, okay, you got to give me $50, and then later on you punch me and you don't give me $50, that's not a fair system. You're being unfair. So I get pulled over in Manassas, and I got real fucking problems, right? Phil Greeny, Kenny Capin, Troy Zinn, Noah, Robert Pickrell, Jepsen, I don't know who or why or what, but the right-wing sovereign movement, motherfuckers don't want to pay their permits. They don't want to fucking be lawful. They don't want to do fireworks. They don't want to be decent people. They don't want to be decent, fucking neighborly, goddamn civil society, anti-crime, anti-child abuse, neighborly, good people. Okay. So I drive up to Alamosa, I buy the car, I'm hurrying back to the house because I'm being harassed day in and day out, and Tecumseh's there, Tintim's there, my dogs, and I'm worried about their sake, I'm worried about my property. And I get the car, I'm kind of hurrying back, and as I go through Manassas, a cop pulls me over. But, cop, I'm dealing with real fucking criminals. Real criminals are fucking oppressing the shit out of me. Why was I driving a little fast? Because real criminals were fucking with me. You think he gave a shit? He says that's not his jurisdiction. He didn't give a shit. I had to pay Lalo to watch over the place. I go to court, and then the judge is going to make me go back home and then come back to Manassas again for evidence. Because I told the judge that I would take responsibility for the speeding, but I wasn't going to take responsibility for lack of insurance. And frankly, don't you have leeway? You buy a car, you could drive it to your fucking house. How else can you get it to your house? You gotta buy insurance right then and there with the VIN number and the fucking money and the exchange of the fucking this and the that and the what the fuck ever. Also, I have insurance on my other vehicles. So I'm insured. I have insurance. I have vehicle insurance for, the truck that I drove to the place. So I'm covered technically, right? If I have insurance for my truck, can't I drive like other people's vehicles? I have insurance. And then he says, did you bring that insurance? And I said, no, but I brought the insurance for the vehicle and I bought it. And he says it was dated afterwards. Well, no shit, Sherlock, but I'm just showing you I went and got the fucking insurance. No, I need to prove my case, motherfucker. So I got to go home and prove that I had insurance. At the time for the truck, I go and get the insurance and then come back. But that's 3 fucking trips. I was just supposed to go to Alamosa and come back and then, protect my place. Then I had to go to court. That judge is an asshole. Anybody giving a shit about the major crimes? I'm being oppressed like a motherfucker over here. I'm a prisoner in my own home and I can't, when I was in Costilla County, I was a prisoner in my own home and I can't leave my place to do shit. Every fucking day something was fucking happening. I'm good, I'm decent, I'm honest, I'm not fucking with these people. I don't know what the fuck these people, what their goddamn problem is. Vilela, what a lying piece of shit, motherfucker. I was kind and decent and genuine to Vilela because I wanted him to be kind and decent and back to me. Also, my dog ran away, so I probably would have never talked to him if my dog hadn't run off. And also, there's another part to the story. Robinson. Motherfucking Robinson. A guy named Robinson. But that's for another day. That's for another day. So, Hurricane Carter, I gotta... Bitch just wants a donut, right? But bitch don't want a civil society. Bitch don't want civil liberties. Bitch just wants a donut. Bitch doesn't want a democratic and constitutional republic or civil liberties or a civil society. Bitch just wants a donut. Bitch don't know the rule of law. Bitch don't know the 3 branches of government. Bitch just wants a donut. Just wants to eat a donut and then fart and poop in her pants. Listen. Let's collaborate and listen. Investigate. Let's organize the community. Anti-crime. Stay strong. We need a strong community. I want a bunch of good people standing up and saying enough is enough. Fuck the criminal motherfuckers. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Motherfucker is motherfucking around. We all fucking say knock it the fuck off. We need to collaborate and listen. We need to elaborate and glisten. We need to fire up the pistons, turn on our ignition. Go Egyptian, maybe Tunisian, I don't know. I want to create America where we're protective of our families and where we have virtues. We believe in love and justice and peace and domestic tranquility. It comes out of the U.S. preamble and the Colorado preamble. Let's go out and establish justice. When you walk outside of your house, when you get ready for the day, say, I'm going to go establish some justice. So, is America evil? I guess that's sort of what I'm wondering out loud here. Is America evil? And the system doesn't work? and people are working hard, but they're playing by the rules and they're working hard and they're not getting anywhere and they have nothing to show for it. And then everybody else, if you're a good person in a sea of evil, you're going to perish. That's Machiavelli. So people need to learn how, power. People need power to stand up for themselves, stand up for them families. If I have 10 households on the street, I want all 10 households to be as strong and as wealthy as they possibly can. Have all the guns, have all the strength. I want everybody to be protecting our